What's up everyone, I hope you're doing fantastic. Today we're playing some more Wizard 101 and we're going to be taking a look at a level 80 balanced deck setup, and that's because I've been really enjoying balanced PvP for quite some time now and I've found great success with it climbing the ranks, and it is just really enjoyable and all around very well versed. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. So the first thing we're going to add to this deck setup is Tower Shield, because it does minus 50% incoming damage to the next spell, which is very great, and it is universal, so there's no need to use set shields, so it does come in handy in every single match you're going to be going up against. And the second thing we're going to add is Colossal, because it is the best enchant you can get at level 80, and I really just think it is very important to add enchants to every single one of your hits, because it does do so much more damage. And we're going to have 6 of these Colossals in our deck, followed by 4 Gargantuans, just so we can have as many enchants as we possibly can. So next up we're going to go with Infallible, where we're going to stack 5 of these, because we do have some treasure card Infallibles, but we do want to pull these up whenever we can for that extra accuracy and that pierce, because it is so helpful. And next up we're going to want to pack in Availing Hands. We're going to want 6 of those, because this heal does so much, and if you critical it, it can just be a complete game changer, and it does come in handy and has won me plenty of matches on its own. And next up we're going to want to add Black Mantle, and we're going to have 5 of these, because if you pair them with your Lor Master, it can do minus 80% accuracy, which can make pretty much anybody fizzle whenever you want them to, so it's always a good idea to keep these in your hand and use them sparingly. And next up we're going to have Hex, just because the other balance blades do not do as much percentage increase to single attack spells such as Lor Master or Judgment. So I do like to pack in Hex. We just have 4 of those, but they do come in handy and do pack a little bit of an extra punch. And so next up we have Judgment. We're going to have 3 of those, just because with full pips, you know, it's a very, very large damage spell, and it's also very good to use when you have low pips and you can't pull a Lor Master, or if you just have a single fail pip or 2 pips, it comes in handy quite often. And next up we have Lor Master. Of course we have 7 of these, gotta have a lucky number 7 of those, because they are just so good. They do a moderate amount of damage, but they also give a minus 20% weakness followed by a minus 35% Black Mantle, and this is just so overpowered. I think the whole community knows how good this spell is, so I do not need to do it any justification. It is a very powerful spell and probably one of the best for balance to keep. And again, we have 7 of those in our deck. Next up we have Mana Burn. Now this is a really good spell. I have 4 of them in my deck, and they do 80 damage per pip, but then your opponent loses 3 pips. So it's very good, very powerful, and it can be a game changer when it comes to it, so I definitely recommend packing those in, at least 3 or 4 of them. And next up we have our Reshuffles, including our Amulet. We have 4 of them in our deck. Reshuffles just pretty much take all the cards that you've already spent or discarded and puts them back into your deck, so it's very helpful for those longer matches or those matches that you've just overdrawn in. And next up we have 4 Scorpion. This is just the lowest attack spell that balance has, besides Judgment. Of course you can use a 1-pip Judgment, but it's very nice for getting tower shields off, especially if you have a lot of pips and you don't want to use a Judgment or a Lor Master. It's very helpful just to have a 2-pip attack. And next up we have Supernova, which is one of my favorite balance spells, because you can take out somebody's aura and do massive damage just for 2 pips. If you have the opportunity, it's one of the strongest spells you could possibly use. And last but not least, we have 4 Weakness, because again, on its own, it's really good, but coupled with Lor Master, you can just debuff your opponent so much, and it comes in handy so often. And next up, we obviously have our Wand hits, followed by a couple extra Availing Hands from my pet. So that's going to be this deck setup. I really hope it helps somebody out. I've really been enjoying balanced PvP. It's very fun. I've had a lot of success climbing the ladders with it, and it's just been really enjoyable for me. So if you have not yet, make sure to check out some balanced PvP. If you did like this content, make sure to check out my channel. If you have any advice or want to request anything in particular, make sure and drop a comment, and until next time, take care.